In the quiet stillness of dawn, take a moment to observe two cucumber vines born from the same seed packet, nestled into the very same earth, bathed in the same falling rain, and graced by the same sweeping sunlight. 6 weeks later, the stark contrast between them would leave any gardener standing in absolute awe. One vine struggles endlessly at a mere half-meter tall, its leaf edges fading into a sickly yellow, its stem frail and gaunt, managing to hold only a few stunted fruits, one of which has already begun to rot at its blossom end. Meanwhile, right beside it, its sibling soars to nearly 2 meters in height. Its broad canopy stretches out, carrying the profound dark green of an ancient forest. Its stem is as thick and sturdy as a man's thumb, and the winding vines are burdened with dozens of plump, heavy cucumbers, swelling so fiercely the farmer must drive extra wooden stakes into the earth just to support them. The same seed, the same climate, the same patch of soil. The sole difference dividing these two lives does not reside within an expensive bag of synthetic fertilizer from a commercial store. It lies within a rustic, biological elixir brewed in the quiet kitchen of an Amish homestead at a cost of less than $1. Today we will take a step back, returning to creation's most primal ingredients to uncover how to craft this essence that shatters every biological limitation. In our hurried society, the vast majority of modern gardening manuals direct our focus solely toward the visible, the vibrant green of the leaves, the heavy size of the ripening fruit, or the radiant color of a blossom. But nature does not build from the top down. Every living entity begins in the profound darkness of Mother Earth. The roots must stretch out first, establishing an intricate trade network with the microbial world and finding chemical balance before anything else. Every ounce of glory you witness above the soil is merely the inevitable echo of an unshakable ecosystem thriving beneath. If the earth below is parched and suffocating, it matters little how many chemical minerals you scatter across the surface. It is akin to frantically pouring fuel into a shattered engine. What we are about to undertake today completely defies that superficial mindset. We will not attempt to fertilize the plant directly. We will nourish the invisible lives dwelling in the dark loam, allowing them to fulfill the sacred duty of feeding the plant using the most primal language of all: growth hormones, amino acids, and a flawless shield of biological armor. The central figure in this magnificent transformation is a tiny, single-celled fungus scientifically named Saccharomyces cerevisiae. If that name sounds entirely foreign, the beautiful truth is that it resides with profound humility in your kitchen pantry every single day. It is simply common baker's yeast, the tiny miracle that helps rustic bread rise into pillowy loaves and pizza crusts bubble. In the eyes of the culinary world, yeast possesses but one function: to meet sugar, exhale bubbles and leaven dough. But through the lens of agroecology, that is merely the opening chapter. The very moment you offer those dormant yeast cells warm water and sugar, they awaken from their deep winter slumber. They do not merely exhale a few bubbles of gas. They begin to architect a deeply complex biological matrix, one that scientific reports from the 2000s published in journals like Crop Science and BMC Plant Biology have continuously documented with awe. There are 4 majestic mechanisms this humble yeast utilizes to completely reverse the fate of a stunted garden. The first mechanism, and undeniably the yeast's greatest power, the production of phytohormones. Saccharomyces cerevisiae possesses the natural ability to secrete 2 of the most critical growth regulators in the botanical realm: auxin and cytokinin. Auxin, specifically indole-3 acetic acid, is a master chemical signal. It commands the cells within the fragile root hairs to stretch, elongate, and pierce through tightly compacted layers of earth. Every time the plant desires to forge a new route to seek out hidden subterranean water veins, auxin is the quiet guide leading the way. Above the earth, cytokinin performs a similar duty, but targets the tender young shoots. It provokes cellular division at a staggering pace, empowering a vine to stretch 15 centimeters in a single week. Those expensive jars of rooting hormone, locked behind glass cases in supply stores, are in truth merely synthetic, chemical imitations of auxin's natural grace. When you drench the base of a plant with this fermented yeast elixir, you are flooding the root zone with both of these living hormones simultaneously. You are not passively waiting for the plant to struggle and adapt. You are handing it a direct command to grow, spoken in Mother Earth's original chemical tongue. The second mechanism is the gift of immediate sustenance. In a conventional garden, a plant absorbs nourishment with agonizing slowness. It must laboriously draw in dissolved mineral ions or patiently wait for earthworms and bacteria to break down organic humus into smaller amino acids. The yeast elixir entirely bypasses this exhausting wait. As the yeast multiplies, it naturally releases a massive surge of amino acids, abundant peptide chains, vital trace elements, and crucially, B vitamins directly into the surrounding soil. All of these nutrients are already perfectly broken down to their smallest molecular size. The roots need not expend any vital energy on digestion. They simply drink them whole into the stem. This difference is precisely like giving the root system a direct infusion of the purest life force, igniting an explosive surge of growth within a mere 72 hours. And this is the moment nature reveals her protective embrace through the third mechanism, the immunological shield. The soil is not merely a soft, yielding cradle. It is a relentless battlefield of survival. Destructive fungal spores like fusarium and root-rotting bacteria constantly lurk in the shadows, capable of debilitating fragile root hairs long before we ever witness the first yellowing leaf above. When the yeast elixir seeps into the loam, the cells rapidly multiply, physically occupying the entirety of the space surrounding the roots. Through sheer, overwhelming numbers, they crowd out the pathogens, denying them any foothold. More importantly, the yeast releases glycopeptide compounds, which act as a biological alarm, awakening the plant's own natural immune system. It gently guides the plant to activate its self-defense mechanisms before pathogens can ever take hold, drastically reducing the heartbreak of wilt or root rot in fragile, tender seedlings. Yet it is the fourth mechanism that stands as a magnificent survival legacy endlessly fascinating the scientific community, the trehalose drought armor. To protect itself from desiccation in harsh environments, the yeast cell synthesizes trehalose, a rare, non-reducing sugar. This is the very same secret that allows desert organisms to sleep through years of brutal drought, only to resurrect at the touch of a single drop of dew. When the brewed yeast is poured into the earth, trehalose settles around the root zone and is absorbed by the plant. As it enters the plant's tissues, it operates as a biological regulator, dictating how the plant opens and closes the microscopic stomata on its leaves. It helps the plant fiercely lock in moisture at a cellular level. The rustic reality is this: when a brutal heat wave strikes and your neighbor's gardens are wilting, dropping their blossoms and scorching their leaves, your crops will stand tall and proud, maintaining their deep, vibrant green and continuing to faithfully nourish their young fruit. Dear friend, as we journey together to uncover the majesty hidden within nature's most humble creations, perhaps you too can feel a soothing relief radiating through your soul. Cultivating these biological miracles with your own hands in your own small kitchen is not merely the art of gardening. It is a journey of casting off dependency, a return to a life of true freedom and original purity. If you are yearning to build a self-sufficient homestead, longing to shed the noisy worries of the world to nurture a healing garden, then we are walking the same quiet path. Please take a peaceful moment to gently press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your rustic, shared comments about your love for flora are the warmest fire, giving me the energy to continue wandering and unearthing buried ecological philosophies, returning the heirloom seeds of understanding safely back into your hands. Now let us step into the farmhouse kitchen and perform this quiet ritual of awakening life. The slow, unhurried art of fermentation will yield an ecosystem vastly richer and more powerful than any hasty mixing. Prepare a clean glass jar and pour in roughly 1 quart of warm water. Do not use scalding water. If it feels as gentle and soothing as your own body temperature, it is absolute perfection. Water that is too hot will scald and destroy the yeast cells before they can ever awaken, while cold water will leave them trapped in their deep slumber. Next, sprinkle in 1 tablespoon of dry baker's yeast. Remember, even those packets that have slightly passed their printed expiration date, if stored safely in a dark pantry, still carry billions of living spores. Do not be in a rush to cast them away. Next, dissolve 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, raw cane sugar, or standard white sugar. This sugar is not meant to fertilize the plant. It is the pure carbohydrate fuel needed to spark the yeast's hunger and drive them to multiply endlessly. Stir with a gentle grace until dissolved. Then, loosely drape the mouth of the jar with a piece of linen, or rest the lid on top without twisting it tight. The fermentation process will exhale carbon dioxide gas, and a tightly sealed lid could shatter under the mounting pressure. Set the jar in a quiet, warm, and shaded corner, and yield to patience for 12 to 24 hours. The longer you wait, the more the yeast population multiplies, releasing an ever greater abundance of auxin and trehalose. When you behold a thick, creamy beige layer of foam floating upon the surface, looking exactly like the frothy head of a freshly poured rustic ale, it is the silent proof that life is fiercely, rhythmically breathing within. However, the secret to transforming this elixir into a comprehensive biological superfood lies in weaving it together with the recycling wisdom of the Amish. The yeast solution alone provides hormones and root protection, but it still lacks the macronutrients needed to forge the plant's skeletal frame. The solution rests right inside the hearth and upon the family's dinner plates. Prepare a large wooden barrel and pour in 5 gallons of crystal clear rainwater. Pour the entire quart of concentrated yeast elixir into it to dilute it. You must absolutely never pour the concentrated solution directly onto the earth, as it is overwhelmingly powerful and can send fragile root hairs into shock. Next, scoop 1 tablespoon of clean, pale gray wood ash from the hearth and sprinkle it into the barrel. Natural wood ash is a treasure trove of potassium, the core element that commands cucumbers and heirloom tomatoes to swell, grow heavy, and accumulate a pure, crisp sweetness. Then take eggshells that have been baked completely dry in the sun and use a stone mortar to grind them until they are as fine as a delicate powder. Sprinkle 1 tablespoon of that eggshell dust into the water. Eggshell powder is pure calcium carbonate. It builds unyielding cell walls, forges sturdy stalks, and completely eradicates the heartbreaking affliction of blossom end rot in tomatoes. And finally, if you have it on hand, add 1 tablespoon of Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is the beating heart of every chlorophyll molecule. It transforms stunted yellowing leaves into a deep, glossy, wax-like green, signaling that the engine of photosynthesis is operating at its most magnificent capacity. Stir gently, and you have just architected a flawless ecological machine. Growth hormones, drought armor, potassium to swell the fruit, calcium to strengthen the frame, and magnesium to green the canopy, all perfectly blended into a 5-gallon barrel at virtually zero cost. Use a rustic wooden ladle to scoop this elixir and generously drench the earth surrounding the root zone, taking care not to wet the leaves so as to avoid leaving any mineral residue. Perform this ritual 3 times throughout the life cycle of the plant. The first time, when the tender sapling is transplanted into the earth to ignite an explosion of roots. The second time, when the first fragile blossoms smile open to ensure the fruit sets securely. And the third time, when the young green fruits first take shape to provide a colossal surge of energy. In a mere 72 hours, you will see the canopy lift its head with quiet pride. After a week, the stalks will swell with unshakable sturdiness. And after 3 weeks, a breathtaking transformation will unfold, leading you right back to the image of that colossal cucumber vine at the beginning of our story. When you shape these biological miracles with your own hands, from baker's yeast, hearth ash, and crushed eggshells, you are not merely cultivating food, you are breathing in rhythm with the wisdom of Mother Earth, proving that the most radiant prosperity never needs to be purchased, but is always waiting to sprout from profound understanding and boundless patience.